Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum Teddi Mellencamp filed for divorce from her husband Edwin Arroyave in November 2024. Then, Teddi received the shocking news that she had stage 4 melanoma. The cancer also spread to her brain and lungs. While she was undergoing treatment, Edwin stepped in to help Teddi and care for their children. Now we are getting an update about the state of Teddi and Edwin's relationship. Teddi Mellencamp and Edwin Arroyave's divorce is going ahead. After a recent MRI, Teddi reported that her brain tumors are shrinking. And now it seems that both Edwin and Teddi are ready to move on from their marriage. After all, the rhobh alum is already dating someone new. You go, girl. Recently, a source told Briefing on Bravo, when Teddi found out she had brain cancer, they put the divorce on hold to focus on her healing, and Edwin was all in to help her. He was there for her and the kids every step of the way, and a lot of people thought that it might get their marriage back on track because they obviously love each other. The insider continued, but they've decided that the best thing is to move forward with the divorce. They still care about each other deeply, but they know it's time to go their separate ways. That still makes me sad. I thought that maybe they would work it out. The insider added that the former couple is in agreement that this is the best decision for their family, so it's going to be very smooth with no fighting. This isn't some toxic Hollywood breakup, but it's still very emotional. They're sad that this chapter is ending, the source stated, but they're saying they will still be family, they just won't be married anymore. They're proving that not every breakup has to be messy. Kudos to Teddi and Edwin for navigating their divorce with grace amid Teddi's health issues. Still care about each other. The quiet unraveling of Teddi Mellencamp and Edwin Arroyave. The pause button. Teddi Mellencamp stared at the MRI results on the screen, her breath caught somewhere between hope and fear. A cluster of tiny dots shimmered like a constellation in the shape of her brain, but today, finally, they were smaller. Shrinking. It was the word she had clung to like a buoy in the storm. She turned to Edwin, who was seated beside her, holding her hand in his. His grip was firm, grounding. The same hand that had steadied her through childbirth, held hers through career highs and lows, and now, through the cruelest twist, stage 4 melanoma that had spread to her brain and lungs. "They're responding," she whispered, not quite daring to believe it. Edwin nodded, emotion thick in his throat. "Told you, you're the strongest woman I know." There was a flicker of a smile between them, the kind that only years of shared history could create. But just beneath that smile was the truth they'd both been avoiding for months, maybe even years. They weren't going to stay together. In the beginning, they had fallen in love like wildfire, fast, bright, and uncontrollable. Teddi, the daughter of music legend John Mellencamp, had carved her own path in reality TV, wellness, and accountability coaching. Edwin, a successful businessman and founder of Skyline Security, was charming, driven, and completely devoted to his family. They had married in 2011, had 3 children, and blended their lives with grace and hustle. Their home was always bustling with energy, birthday parties, filming schedules, business calls, and the occasional rhobh drama. To outsiders, they were a modern power couple. Inside, they were just trying to keep it together. But somewhere between career ambition and life's relentless pace, they began to drift. It wasn't one explosive fight or betrayal. It was the quiet fading of intimacy, of connection. Words went unspoken. Glances became glancing. The warmth remained, but the fire had cooled. Still, they tried. For the kids, for the family, for what they used to be. The diagnosis. When Teddi first discovered the melanoma on her back, it was supposed to be routine. A mole removed, a precaution. She had always been vigilant with her skin checks. But the phone call came 2 days later. Aggressive, stage 4, metastasis. It was the kind of news that rewrites your life in a single sentence. Teddi's world collapsed inward. The show stopped. Business paused. Nothing mattered except survival. Edwin, despite their marital issues, was at her side in an instant. He moved back into the main bedroom. Not as a husband, but as a partner. He cooked for her when the chemo made her too sick to move. He picked up the kids, helped with homeschooling, attended doctor's appointments, held her hand when her hair fell out, kissed her forehead when she couldn't sleep. "You don't have to do all this," she told him once, her voice fragile. "I want to," he replied simply. "You're the mother of my kids. You're still family." And he meant it. The house with 2 stories. Life in the Mellencamp Arroyave home became a quiet, strange harmony. Love lived there, but not the romantic kind. It was deeper, older, almost sacred. Still, neither of them spoke of the divorce. It hung in the background like an unfinished sentence. In moments of calm, Teddi would sit on the back patio, a blanket around her shoulders, and watch the kids play. Edwin would bring her green juice or herbal tea, and they would talk, really talk. Not just about treatments or parenting logistics, but about dreams, regrets, life. "I think I lost myself a little," Teddi admitted one evening, her voice barely above a whisper. "We both did," Edwin said. They laughed quietly, the way people do when they realize the same truth at the same time. A love that shifts. By the time her next MRI came back, showing the tumors were shrinking, they had already begun to let each other go. There were no fights, no slammed doors or angry accusations, just acceptance. "It's time," Teddi said one morning after her yoga session. Edwin knew exactly what she meant. "I know." They sat in silence, sipping coffee. The sun rose over the Hollywood Hills, bathing the room in gold. It should have felt like an ending, but instead it felt like a soft release. They filed the paperwork together. A new beginning. Word got out, as it always does when you've lived in the spotlight. Real Housewives star files for divorce, the headline screamed. Paparazzi buzzed. Speculation brewed. But those who really knew them weren't surprised. They'd seen the slow unraveling. They had also seen the grace. Teddi and Edwin issued a joint statement. No blame, no bitterness, just mutual respect. They continued co-parenting seamlessly. Teddi even posted pictures of Edwin at their daughter's dance recital, cheering from the front row. "This isn't a breakup," she said in an Instagram Live. "It's a shift. We're still a team. We just play different positions now." The comments flooded in. "You're so strong. This is how divorce should look. Still rooting for you both, but healing is rarely linear." The man on the horizon. It wasn't long before Teddi was seen out with someone new. He was a writer, quiet, introspective, the opposite of the flashy LA scene. They met at a charity gala for cancer research. He had lost his sister to lymphoma. They bonded over shared grief and survival. Edwin knew about him. Teddi was honest. "Do you hate me?" she asked one afternoon while picking up the kids. "No," Edwin said. "You deserve to be happy." He meant it. But he still went home and sat in the dark for a long time. Because even when it's mutual, even when it's right, endings hurt. The call one night, a few months after the divorce was finalized, Teddi called Edwin. "Hey," she said. Her voice was stronger now. "What's up?" "I just wanted to say thank you for everything, for not walking away when it got hard. You never have to thank me for that. I still care about you, you know." "I know," he said. "I care about you too." There was a pause filled with history, then laughter, soft and genuine. "I think we did okay," she said. "I think we did great. Still family. Today their lives look different. Teddi is still fighting, still advocating for skin cancer awareness, still coaching clients toward accountability, not just in health, but in life. Edwin is back in his own home, focused on his company, dating cautiously, parenting fully. They text daily. They share holidays. Birthdays are celebrated together. The kids are happy. That, above all, was their compass. There's a picture on the mantle of all 5 of them from just last month. They're at the beach. Teddy's hair is growing back in soft curls. Edwin's arm is draped around their youngest. They're all laughing. It's not a picture of a broken family. It's a picture of a family that evolved. A different kind of love. Not all love stories end in happily ever after. Some end in quiet, mutual goodbyes, full of respect and deep care. Some turn into lifelong friendships. Some become the foundation of co-parenting, of family traditions that continue even when rings are no longer worn. Teddi and Edwin's story is one of those. Their divorce didn't undo their bond. It redefined it. They still care about each other. Deeply, always will, and sometimes that's enough. Even after the divorce was finalized, Sundays remained sacred. The kids loved their routines. Pancakes in the morning, soccer in the park, then back home for a movie night. At first, Teddi thought about creating separate traditions, but it didn't feel right, not yet. So Edwin still came over on Sundays. It started with just the kids, but eventually they'd end up sitting together, Teddi curled under a blanket, Edwin in his usual spot on the couch, both sipping tea. They weren't pretending to still be married. They were just comfortable. "People think we're weird," Teddi said one night during the credits of The Incredibles.